Tom Sexton will take the reins as president and CEO of the National Futures Association next March. John Lothian News spoke with him about how the NFA has changed in his 25 years there, the focus on technology, and what's next for its new role as a swaps regulator.
NFA is significantly different than when I joined 25 years ago. And if you look at the different regulatory issues that we've tackled during that period of time, those have driven the changes here. For example, we have dealt with retail Forex and developed a whole program around the retail Forex. At one point, we had close to 50 Forex dealer members. Now we're down to just a handful. But that whole program has been developed and evolved over time. We have a swap regulatory program, which I hopefully we'll discuss later on also. And that basically was building almost a brand new NFA within NFA over the past few years. That started from scratch, and we have over 100 employees now in that area devoted to certain elements of the swap regulation, whether or not it's the registration element, the examination, risk monitoring, capital and margin that are also just recently have come out and impacted NFA. So that's a whole different area here. We have our market regulation area, which was not even envisioned back in 1991, where we provide on an outsourced basis market services to 6 contract markets and about 16 or so CEFs. So those are all different areas that we have had the benefit, I think, of having those responsibilities placed upon us and have met the challenges in each one of those particular areas. Our staff itself has grown now to over 500 individuals, which is almost double in size from what it was in 1991. A couple of the areas of focus, I think, in the upcoming years is something that we started or so last year that we want to see to an end and complete, and that is some of our technology is old and some of our systems are older, 10 plus years or so. So we've been looking at those systems. I'm thinking of our online registration system and what we call our FACS system, which is our analytical system for our compliance areas, and updating those and trying to, particularly for ORS, making them more user-friendly for our members, and with regard to FACS, making them more user-friendly for our compliance staff here, so that they have more information that is located in one place that they can look up and basically see what is going on with a firm at a particular point in time. Which gets me to our second area of emphasis, and that's going to be continuing to develop our risk systems, both for swaps compliance and futures compliance. And both of these are key because our resources here are unlimited. So we have to try to determine what firms pose the most risk here and then go out and examine those firms and keep an eye on those firms. And our risk systems here are key to doing that. So for futures, we've had a risk system for many, many years, and we continue to develop that particular system. For swaps, it's relatively new. We've only had swap dealers as members since end of 2012. So we're going to have to continue to evolve that system over time. And in the near future, I expect that we'll be collecting some basic type of risk data from our swap dealers and then using that for our examination priorities in that particular area. And it's very exciting having swap dealers as members and building that part of NFA. As I said, we have about 100 or so employees in this area now across different disciplines that we think are necessary in order to have our program. The examination cycles, we started examinations of our swap dealers about 3 years ago, and the first 18 months or so we devoted to examinations of the Chief Compliance Officer function, because we thought that compliance and the culture of compliance at these firms is very important, and that we should pay attention to that, and that they should have those requirements in place, and so we reviewed those. We moved off of that examination type and moved to examining the risk management program and also some trade practices at our particular firms, and that's the current cycle that we are in right now. So we are, and we're just about completing that cycle. I think sometime next spring we'll be done with that cycle. Looking down I guess into the future from here, those are all going to be key components that we're going to have to address. And then lastly, as I mentioned, developing a risk system for swap dealers and how we allocate resources there to swap dealers going forward is also going to be a very important emphasis that we have in this particular area. The other area that I'll mention is cybersecurity. And I know that we have, that's an area of obviously regulatory concern for us. But internally also, it's an area of concern for us. We have any number of hits each day where individuals or firms or whoever are trying to break into our systems here. And so we have placed a great emphasis on that here, our own protection of member firm data that we receive. And as a result, I think our staff in that area that is solely devoted to cybersecurity and security is about 10 employees now. And that's all they do is help protect our systems here. We're taking a much more proactive stance on those particular systems and measures that we can put in place. Each year we have an annual security assessment that is performed of our systems here, and we have a checklist of things that they recommend that we correct. And going forward, that's going to be a significant area here also in the technology area for us.